Before we get started, please go over to Amazon.com and grab a copy of my book, Education and Justice. If you have an African-American son in public school, you need this book because I teach you the many ways that public schools mistreat African-American boys and what you can do to help your son. So go over there and get your copy immediately. Black America, what are we doing? Are we so tired and fatigued politically that we're not going to fight for our children and grandchildren? If ever there was a time to stand up for Black children, our children, it is now. So what I want you to do is watch this video until the end because I'll show you how to fight for our children. Now, here's why I say all of this. Donald Trump's executive orders eliminating the Department of Education's Office for Civil Rights goes well beyond mere political theatrics. Essentially, they are an open invitation for schools to discriminate against Black children with little or any accountability. Trump is basically fueling anti-Black school racism by shutting down offices for civil rights in the Department of Education, not in the Department of Justice. He's already done that. But I'm talking about offices for civil rights in the Department of Education. Closing these offices will hinder the work of parents and civil rights organizations that have been committed to fighting racism in the classroom for decades, literally. And if you think this won't affect your child or your grandchild, you're being neglectful to your child or grandchild. Because the implications of Trump's executive order are serious regarding our children. I mean, imagine closing down civil rights offices. It is really serious. Now, the implications. First, these orders have shut down 7 out of 12 regional offices of the Department of Education. 7 out of 12. Second, the offices already have a backlog of thousands of civil rights complaints. Third, nearly half of the staff responsible for investigating these thousands of complaints have already left. That means fewer investigations into racial discrimination, obviously. And what many Blacks don't know is Black students are already disproportionately targeted with racism. Here are a few facts to substantiate that. Black children constitute 15% of the U.S. student population. So suspensions and school discipline should be 15% for Black students, right? But nearly 40% of all suspensions are Black kids. And it's not because they misbehave more. It's because of racism. Black students receive suspensions at a rate that is 4 times higher than that of their white counterparts for the same behavior. And that's according to Ed Week. But school discipline is only half the story. Another form of discrimination in schools regarding Black kids is our kids are over-referred to special education. Now listen, if a child needs special education, then that can be a lifesaver, really. They get specialized education, specialized training. But if they don't need it, it can create some problems that can last a lifetime. For example, being in special education, it denies them the opportunity to take advanced courses, college-ready courses. And second, it stigmatizes them as being slow. And again, that label will follow them throughout school and into life. Now, if you think my words ring hollow or untrue, listen, I have written about this very topic in depth in my book, Education and Justice: How Public Schools Fail African American Males. And I document how schools have for decades perceived black boys especially as problems to be managed rather than students who are educable. Okay? Trump is now providing a route by which schools can bypass civil rights protections that were put in place to address these issues. However, parents, listen to me. You still have legal rights that you can use to fight back. For example, Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964 prohibits discrimination by reason of race, color, national origin in any school receiving federal financial assistance. And that is powerful. That is powerful because those schools don't want to lose those federal dollars. In the event that your child is specifically targeted for his or her race, you can pursue a Title VI lawsuit. But that's not the only legal remedy that you have, fortunately. You also have the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Clause. It is another way in which schools can be held accountable for racial discrimination, because the Equal Protection Clause guarantees that any individual cannot be denied equal protection by any state, and that includes public schools. This means that if schools illegally suspend or discipline or segregate your child, you can sue them in court on that basis as well, or for both reasons. So despite Trump actively attempting to set back civil rights in schools, you still have rights at the state and the federal level. Now, if you suspect that your child is being discriminated against, here are a few things that I want you to do in preparation of the lawsuit. Number one, record everything. Take diligent records of all events, record and keep the dates, keep the places, keep the names of the individuals involved. Number two, communicate with school officials. Let them know, inform them. And I mean the teachers, the counselors, the principals, all the way up to the superintendent's office, if necessary, about your concerns, and demand that they give you a written response. Okay? You may be able to resolve your issue with them, with the local school district. Number three, submit a formal complaint. In the event that your school fails to act, you can file a complaint with the U.S. Department of Education Office for Civil Rights. There are still 5 of those offices left. Just be advised that you're probably going to experience delays thanks to Trump's closures of 7 of those offices. Number 4, consult a civil rights attorney. An attorney can navigate the legal complexities of a Title VI and or equal protection case. Okay? But make sure that attorney has expertise in these areas. 5, collaborate with advocacy groups like the NAACP, the ACLU, and local educational groups. They're there. If they're not there, start one. 6, stay active in the community by joining your local PTA, by attending school board meetings, and so on. Number 7, strengthen state-level protections. So if the federal oversight is being done away with by Trump's executive orders, then urge your state Department of Education to enhance those civil rights laws. Contact your local state representatives, and even on the county level. Listen, this is no coincidence. They planned this, and they told us in Project 2025 that it was going to happen. And I warned you in multiple Project 2025 videos. I warned you. And what did the pro-black imposters do? They told you it was nothing to be concerned about, although they never read Project 2025. And let us be clear about this also. This is far from the first time Trump has attacked civil rights protections. During his first administration, he rolled back Obama-era civil rights policies then as well. And he also nominated Betsy DeVos as the education secretary in his first administration, and she virtually had no experience in this space. And now that he's back in office, he has appointed Linda McMahon to run the department, and like Betsy DeVos, she has virtually no experience in this space. I mean, none. So why does this matter to each and every one of us? It should be obvious, but let me tell you if it's not. It's about our children and grandchildren's future. It's about our posterity. It's about the next generation. It's that simple. We want them to get great educations and not be encumbered with racial discrimination. So when the government fails to protect their civil rights, it's then our obligation to stand up and to act. So let us protect our children. Let us call for accountability. Let us fight, because no child should be denied their right to a great education and be again dealing with a bunch of racial discrimination and nowhere to turn. So if you find this information useful, please share, like, and comment on this video. Also, visit our website at lljp.org and join the movement. And please make a donation. And most importantly, make it your priority to be well informed and to be an active participant in the struggle. I am Reverend and Civil Rights Attorney Augustus Corbett, and as always, stay woke, and I'll see you in the next video.